Knit One
Part 2, episode 182.
I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Winnie. And if this is your first time watching us, thank you for checking us out. And if you're a return viewer, welcome back.
Just a reminder that we're doing a September/October knit along. Anything that's been in your stash for over 6 months can be, and you finish it in September or October, can be added to the thread. A picture, please. And we're drawing
next week. It is the 28th today.
29th, actually.
It is the 29th.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry. It is the 29th today. By the time this goes up, it might actually be the last day, but get your stuff in before we close the thread.
We'll close it
the day of the contest.
Yeah.
So there'll be a few extra days for you to get your stuff in.
And the only reason I know it's the 29th is because I've written it maybe 100 times today.
Oh.
Because I have to do that.
So, yeah, I can see how that would be. We have one shout out this week. I was contacted by designer Maria Yarley, and she told me of a pattern she has designed called Graceful Pullover, and it is the cutest sweater.
Oh, it is cute.
Can you pull it up?
Oh, I'm sorry. Where are you?
I'm waiting for you to pull it up. You're looking at the weather.
Oh, it's awfully dark. I don't know if it's because of the time.
We're going to have a tornado.
Well, no, I wasn't sure if it was the time or if it's because it's dark.
Okay.
Like, we're storm.
So, Graceful Pullover by Maria Yarley. It is the cutest girls sweater. It's sized for girls age 2 to 10 or size 2 to 10. And she is doing this pattern in the month of November. 100% of her post PayPal and other expenses, Ravelry expenses, are going to a woman who is a friend of hers who lost her husband very suddenly and is left a widow with 4 young kids. And there may be financial difficulties and she may need financial support. So Maria Yarley is offering this pattern. If you purchase it, 100% of those proceeds outside of her administrative costs are going to go to this woman and her children. The pattern itself, which is the Graceful Pullover, was inspired by her daughters who love ballet.
The woman's daughters, not the designer's daughters.
The woman who lost her husband. The yarn support for the project was done by Copper Corgi on Etsy. She created an exclusive colorway called Pirouette for the outfit, and that will also go on sale when the pattern's on sale, so you can order that.
The pattern on Ravelry was running for $6.99, I believe.
$6.99, I think you're right. And the fun facts that she gave me about it is the pattern photo shoot. Everyone who was involved in the photo shoot, including the photographer, the test knitter for the pattern, the models, and the owner of the studio, all the people that got together to put this pattern, into its final process are friends of the woman who lost her husband. So her goal is to try to sell 1,000 patterns by the end of November. And she is asking a bunch of different podcasters to just mention it on her blog. So if you go to the Graceful Pullover page, there's more information about it, and check it out. It's worth checking out.
Absolutely.
It's cute. Sweater is gorgeous.
It's for girls 2 to 10.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
And it takes fingering weight yarn, just so you guys are aware of that.
If you have a chance, just check it out. And we wanted to give you a heads up. Next week, we are going to be reviewing a new book from Cooperative Press called Ahead for Trouble. And it's 20 hat patterns. And they're all kind of based on like a crime,
either when you're searching for clues or you're searching for a crook.
Yeah, there's like a crime solving theme for it. It looks interesting. We were going to review it today, but we just, because of how late we got started and everything, we just don't have time to do it today, but we are going to do it next week. So check in for that. And we are also going to announce a new pattern contest in the Gossip and Innuendo section. So stick through the whole show to hear about that. And that's all the shout outs.
Alrighty.
Oops. I just wrote on the table.
So I think I go first.
You go first.
I think so.
I don't remember, but
I don't remember,
let's just say make the executive decision that you go first.
So nothing really new on my needles. I'm still working on the same old. The fake Duotone cowl. with Snitches yarn in the syncopation base zoot suit colorway. I keep having a coworker telling me that if she ever has a girl, I'm to knit these colors for her for a hat. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm actually making quite a bit of progress.
Yeah, that's getting big.
I'm trying to figure out a good way of doing that. So I really love it. I love the feel of it.
Oh, yeah.
Nice and soft. And look how little I have left.
You're so... Excuse me.
I'm so close.
You're so close to being done.
I am so close. So this, I've been knitting at work, and then any free chance I get, like at a soccer game, this is my choice because it is more mindless than a sock. That doesn't make sense, but like sock.
Well, it's just a tube.
Yeah. It's, and it's bigger. It's a larger needle.
Yeah, so it goes a little faster.
It does go a little faster. So I'm getting there. Maybe I'll have it done next week.
Maybe.
Don't hold your breath. I am working this weekend.
She's not making any promises.
Well, I'm working this weekend, so that kind of throws most of my knitting out. And I've made more progress on my Super Friend socks.
Yep.
Is that what we're calling?
It's the Desert
Vista Dye Works knit along with our Rhinebeck friends.
Yes.
So I think I showed almost like a project half done last week.
Yeah, you were good.
And I was knitting on the toe of the second sock so that I could figure out how much yarn I had left. So this is where I am with the yarn. Oh God, that's so dark. It happens to be on a green.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. It is very dark out.
Yeah.
So we're having some kind
So
of
I got up to the point where they were even, and I have 2 socks at a time on the needles. Haven't done this in forever. And it's actually funny how they're fitting up.
Oh,
They're obviously not in the same stripe sequence because I'm pulling from the both sides of the skein.
Yeah.
And but the white, some of the white and some of the greens matching up. The heels aren't the same, but I really am enjoying how this is working out. Now, I didn't try to match up the toes in the sense of where it was in the color scheme. It just kind of worked out that way.
Huh.
And they're almost matching in the sense of the same amount of colors.
Yeah.
So I figure probably the maroon on this and yellow on this and bind off in blue and white, I think is what I'm looking at. I'm almost done. I got maybe 2 more color repeats on each sock to finish.
And you didn't need to use extra?
No, I'm not going to do that.
That's good. I'm glad.
It'll be shorter than I typically like them.
But
not that much, because here it is almost...
It's close.
Yeah. But I'm glad I'm doing it this way because I probably would have been playing yarn chicken the other way. Unless I had a scale at the time. And I didn't have a scale. That was the reason why I did it this way, is we didn't have a scale on our weekend away.
The cat that bites. So
yeah, I know.
Maggie, get down.
You can touch her. So that's the Desert Vista Dye Works with Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead socks.
Yes.
And I'm excited to wear them. I've been wearing more of my hand knit socks to work.
It's getting to be that
It
weather.
is getting, well, it's colder in my house than, this morning it was colder in my house than it was outside. But when I wake up in the morning and getting ready, my feet are on the tile.
Yeah.
So they're cold. So I put these on. They're all nice and toasty.
Yeah,
not these ones. But, and then my feet sweat during the day. But that's okay. They're sore. They're not really sweating. They're just sore. So I had a lot of people who were impressed with the fact that I knit my own socks.
Well, it's impressive when you're not a knitter and you don't know how it's actually not that difficult.
The thing I like about this, too, is because of the way that it worked out, the heels kind of came out the same with the black and everything.
Yeah.
It's so, I don't know. You could have asked for a better way of getting it. But so, yeah, that's it for me.
Well, I have only one project on the needles this week. I finished a lot of stuff this week. I don't know how.
Apparently, I just put myself in sleep mode.
Oh, yeah, that happens every once in a while with mine. Well, if it's on sensitive, you will.
Well, no, it's only on sensitive for sleep mode.
Okay.
Sorry, that's something different.
I am making Seeta mitts.
Now, you've made these before,
I've made them before. I made them out of my hand spun. This is a horrible...
Yeah, the color is really...
The yarn that I'm using is Tempted's Luxe Girl base in the Afterglow colorway, and it's like a denim blue and a lavender and a really rich purple.
Like, where the heck is the denim blue?
It's hard to see, but that's it.
I know, but I'm like,
this lighting is horrible.
That wouldn't have been my first choice of colors to mention, I guess, because it's not a prominent color.
Well, it is when you're knitting, it's more prominent because there are sections where there's a lot of it. But it's really beautiful. It is the base Luxe Girl is cashmere merino and nylon. And it is a sport weight yarn, so it's slightly heavier than sock weight.
You're really spoiling your sister-in-law, huh?
Well, I got this yarn from our friend Denise, also known as...
Nice how you changed that up there.
Our friend Denise, mad about Matisse, she had a bunch of skeins in her stash that she could not think what she would knit a project with them. I guess she's not a big fan of like DK. She didn't know what she would knit out of 200 some yards of DK, whatever this is, which is great. Her inability to come up with a project is totally my bonus.
Yeah.
Because I hope my sister-in-law doesn't watch this, but I...
Spoiler alert.
If you're my sister-in-law, just forget I said anything. My sister-in-law, I drew her for the Secret Santa this year, and she asked for handmade items, including things like hat, fingerless mitts, or a cowl.
Was she hoping for you?
I don't know. She asked for the same thing last year, and she actually got Jim and I, and had I known early enough, I could have made her these for Jim, but he didn't tell me until a couple of weeks before Christmas, so I ended up having to buy things on Amazon so they could ship there in time. But this year she got me, and she also has a huge Etsy wish list and inspiration page, so I was able to see what colors she liked and what kind of styles of mitts she would like, and she had a lot of mitts on Etsy, so I thought these were really pretty. They're a slip stitch pattern, and I think it really just brings out the different colors in the yarn, and to a non-knitter this seems really fancy.
Yeah.
So even though it's like you
get the wow factor.
It's almost easier than regular knitting, yeah. But she will really appreciate it. And then it's a luxury base yarn, and the yarn was free, so win-win. And that leaves me with enough budget left over to buy her jewelry or something. Yeah. So yeah. So that's what I'm knitting. Seeta fingerless mitts, and I can't remember the name of the designer, but it will be in the project notes. And that is the only thing I have on the needles. And I have to show you my bag combination for this is gnomes. And I picked this bag because it's Christmas colors, but it's gnomes. That's a Knitting's My Bag. And I have a coordinating gnome stitched by Jessie Lou pouch. Children's pouch.
Well, it's funny because I didn't think about it until you just pointed out, but I have my Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, in a Halloween bag.
See, I like to have I like to pick my bag based on either my mood or a theme.
I know, I just didn't even think about it.
But I was like, Christmas knitting, I need to get out one of my, either a Christmas bag, but I had just used the gnome bag because I wanted to be cold. So I'm like, no, that one's green and red, I'm picking that out.
Oh, there you go.
So, but that is all I have on the needles. Rate your day?
Yeah, I couldn't think. Sorry. It's been a long day for me. I got nothing. No.
I have dates to rate. The first date I have to rate is I finished my Dia de los Muertos socks. I showed you, I think I had a PhD last week.
Yeah, I think you did. The sock blockers?
You know, they put them away. I put them away.
What kind of podcaster are you?
I know.
Really?
Yeah, you can see them now. That's better. There's the front. I used the vanilla latte pattern by Virginia Rose Jeans, and they're sock people. Hello. And which I loved. This is a very simple pattern, but it gives you just enough interest that you don't have to. It makes it not boring. I used the Fish Lips Kiss Heel.
Love.
short row heel. That's the
Oh
thing
my
that
God,
has
yeah.
made me like sock knitting again. It turns out what I really didn't like about sock knitting was the gusset and knitting 2 at a time.
I told you about the 2 at
You
a time.
You did, and
Because
the
it just
only-
seems to go by quicker or something. I
the
don't
only
know.
thing that makes me sad is I had some dye coming off on my hands with this yarn when I was knitting. And it was the black. Black is a notoriously difficult color to set. So I've had yarns, you know, every once in a while you get a navy blue or a red or a black that really bleeds. So I was really careful, and I pre-soaked these in vinegar to try to set the color before I washed it. And it did prevent it from fully bleeding, but it made the white stripes a little dingy. You can...
Yeah.
Show if Sheila. You can't tell when you look at it like this. It's not that bad.
No, but when you compare it to something
But when you
that hasn't
compare
been...
it to one that's unwashed, if you hold them closer, you can see.
It's just slightly brighter.
It's just dingier. So that made me a little sad, but I'm glad that I went ahead with the precautionary vinegar dip. And I recommend if you have yarn that is really saturated with dye and you notice it coming off, it's always a good idea to go ahead and put it in a little vinegar soak before you wash it, just to try to keep it from bleeding. It did not bleed as much as I thought it would after I did that,
Right.
so I was glad. But I guess the lady that runs Desert Vista Dye Works saw that we were doing a knit along, and she said the first person to finish the pair of socks would win a free skein of yarn.
And you are the first person?
Yes. So I need to let her know that.
You gotta post it on Instagram, right? I don't think you posted it on Instagram yet.
I think I did. I think I posted winner winner chicken dinner.
Oh, did you? Is that recent?
I don't know if it was a while ago. I finished these socks like last week. I don't know. But I don't know if I told her, but anyway, everybody knows that everybody in the group knows that I won. So these were a lot of fun to knit, and the thing that I love the most about these socks is this is like a tangible, what do you call it? Souvenir of our trip.
Yes, it is.
Every time I wear these, I will think of the ladies that I went to Rhinebeck with this year. So that's cool.
I wonder if Denise cast on her second sock yet.
I don't know. She did. That was her first sock ever.
She did a great job. It
the
comes
toe
out
one
great.
for her. She did a great job. She did the fish lips kiss heel, and she was surprised at how easy it was.
So just hopefully we can get her.
So that's one thing. The second thing is the Afghan is done. I don't even know if I'm going to bother to unfold it because it's huge.
Well, let's.
This is it
Yeah.
folded.
Yeah.
That's, if you pull it out,
Right.
this is in half, and this is the other side. And as I said, I picked up on the edges and knitted a seed stitch trim, so that it ends with a little row of seed stitch on both ends. And it is so warm and cozy. I've been using it all week. This is my comforter.
Did you break the yarn or whatever it was for acrylic, whatever you call it, heat set it or?
I didn't kill it yet.
Kill
I have
it,
to wash
sorry.
it.
Break, kill.
As soon as I finished it, honestly, I was like, I'm using it. It's been cold in my house.
Yeah.
So, I finished it, and it turns out I really only did need 2 skeins of each color, even with the gray.
Really?
I had plenty of yarn to do the edging.
Good.
So, one thing that was essential with that is it really saved me time at the end to weave. Every once in a while, I would take a break from knitting, and I would weave in like 4 or 5 inches of ends. And that was really good, because at the end, all I had to do was pick up the stitches and knit the edging on, and that went very quickly.
Oh, good.
I enjoyed making that. I don't know if I'd make another one right away, because once it got big, it was kind of awkward.
Yeah.
But that pattern, people have asked me about it. A couple of people are making it, like, with the same colors.
Yeah.
It's so easy. It's called Spicy Chevron, and it's a free pattern on the Patterns website. And I made a ton of modifications on mine, but I listed them. I explained them all on my pattern page. So if you're interested in making it the way that I did, I used less colors, and I modified the design a little bit. I used different decreases and increases, and I did not put in a purl row. There was like a garter. There was like a ridge in there in some rows. I took that out, and I changed the cast on. I basically just was inspired by the pattern, and I did use the way that they put the colors together, but I changed how many colors. So, but it's all laid out in my pattern page. So if you have any questions and you're interested in making one, the yarn is the Michaels store brand, which is Loops and something or other, but the name of the yarn is Impeccable.
Loops and Threads.
Loops and Threads, yes. That is the name of the brand, and the yarn that I bought is Impeccable.
I just find it's funny that you can usually pick off yarns, and I pick off the Michaels yarn.
I know. I can't remember the name of the brand very well, but I like it. It was not a squeaky yarn. It's very heavy. It almost feels like it's felted a bit. It's dense, which I like for an Afghan. And that thing is huge. I can sit down with my feet up, and it can cover my toes all the way up to here on me. So I can like totally get under it. It's a good size, and I would do it again, but not. Right away. No, I'm off the thing that your baby blanket knitting was what got me in the mood, and seeing Lois's Afghan this summer, I was like, I gotta make me an Afghan. I love it though. So yeah, that is all I have for Rate Your Date.
Future dates. Just finished what I'm doing right now. I'm close to finishing both projects, and then I think what's going to happen is I'm going to look at my yarn and see what I want to knit with and figure out a project from that.
Yeah.
I do want to knit some fingerless, so it might be something like that, or just it might be socks again, because I need to up my sock stash.
Well, I for sure am going to knit a pair of socks. I'm going to knit Christmas socks out of my Mint Rain Holly Jolly sock yarn that I showed a couple of episodes ago. It has 3 colors, red, green, and white stripes. And I'm trying to decide what kind of a pattern I'm going to use on it. I might improvise a design on it. Mm-hmm. So I haven't decided yet.
Whirlwind Romance. We kind of skipped that.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing to say.
Okay.
Have not. I thought about spinning, but I didn't actually spin. Not Baubles and Bling.
And Blings. The only Baubles and Bling I just got today. Wendy's mom's here.
My mom is here. She's over there.
I think she's snoozing right now.
Oh, she might be. Or listening to a book. I can't tell.
She brought me a pair of socks, and I love
them. She knit her a pair of socks.
That's such a beautiful color and soft. We think it's
Plymouth Happy Feet. I think it's in fact Plymouth Happy Feet that I gave my mom because I didn't think I was going to knit with it. It looks very familiar to me. It's nice. I like it. Nice yarn. So you got a pair of socks.
I did. 1 sock for the sock drawer.
And is that it for your Baubles and Bling?
I think so. Oh, I got my Fitbit. I'm like,
oh yeah.
I got my Fitbit. I'm still getting used to it. I'm just still getting used to it. It's funny because I think I was sitting at lunch the other day and all of a sudden it vibrated. I'm like, how could I have finished my steps when I'm sitting at lunch?
Well, every once in a while, if you are moving your arms a lot.
And I do that a lot because it's not on my dominant hand, and I've noted that. But my left hand, I do move a lot because when I'm stocking things, I'm multi-dexterous. So.
I don't have it go off for my step goal or whatever very often when
I have
I'm
it for
resting.
miles right now.
Oh, I don't often get it, but the other day when I was knitting on that Afghan and I got some steps from that. And another thing that'll give me steps for sure is if I'm winding yarn.
Yeah, I don't use it. Well, no, I would because I'd be like,
but
yeah.
What I really like about it is it's just a motivating factor. And I really did improve my sleep from looking at my sleep reports and changing my behaviors.
I don't know if I could improve my sleep.
Well, I think you need to.
Yeah, my sleep is, it was bad. It says 172 restless minutes. Now, granted, I'm at the sensitive. I put it on sensitive. You have 2 sleep modes, normal and sensitive. And the sensitive does say that it picks up a lot more and it would show you restless more. The thing is when I was looking at the normal, it said I was sleeping for like 5 hours and restless 2 times. I'm like, yeah, no. I know that's not me because I'm awake. Now, it only registers if you're moving.
Yeah, I can't actually tell
But
if you are
I know
asleep.
I toss and turn like physically. Get up and flip, and get up and flip.
See, and from mine, mine's pretty accurate. When I have a bad night of sleep, and I showed Sheila, you can see I'm like restless. And when I have a good night of sleep, I don't have those things. When I have a really bad night, I'll have that come up on not sensitive.
This is sensitive, and this is last night's sleep. Although it says I went to bed at 20 minutes of 9, and I didn't. So,
are you entering it into your iPad when you go to sleep, or are you entering it into your tapping it on the bracelet? Because I actually go into the app, and if you go into the app, this is how. That way, I know I'm doing it for sure. When I go to bed, I set my alarm, so I'll go plus. Begin sleep now.
I'll try that tonight. So this is what it looked like when I was in normal sleep pattern. That's not me.
Yeah.
I know that's
not me. That's me
on
a good night.
I wish that was me. Let's put it that way.
This is me last night. Let me see if I can get it to go sideways. This is me on a bad night. And you can see
I wish.
There's a lot of... I was... restless 10 times for 22 minutes, and the red was I got up in the middle of the night, so I went to the bathroom. And I know before I went to the bathroom I was awake. I just know that because I didn't.
Right, but if you're lying in bed and you're not moving, it's not going to register.
If you are lying very
that.
still, it won't register as.
But I know restless. I'm more restless than the normal setting said I was. I know that for a fact.
So for me, it's pretty accurate. When I'm restless, it shows a lot of lines, and I did use it. I've told Sheila before, I used it and I started experimenting with going to bed at different times, and I stopped drinking caffeine, like caffeinated soda. That was the thing that was really cranking me up, and my sleep has improved. My restlessness has improved so much. I think just being aware of it kind of helps you. It's like feedback or something, but
yeah, and I know, I mean, Rhinebeck was probably, it's been getting worse. Rhinebeck, I really was almost in tears because I wasn't sleeping. Granted, I was in pain too, but
yeah,
well, I said to myself, I got to call my doctor. So I really have to call my doctor. I have other issues going on. I have snoring, and it's not, I don't have throat snoring. I have nasal snoring. Like right now, I'm congested, and I'm always congested, whether I take...
I think it would be good to consult.
I mean, I just want my adenoids looked at, really, to make sure that...
And maybe get a sleep study done to see
I've had one.
Is going on.
I know it's not sleep apnea. I know that for a fact.
Well, they might be able to diagnose some other problem. Not all sleep problems are sleep apnea. You could be
Even when I did this, and it was shortly after Zachary was born, she's like, the woman said, you're restless. She goes, you don't have sleep apnea, but you are restless.
And that might be something that maybe they can address.
And maybe they can't. I don't know. Maybe it's something where I get prescription something, or I don't know. But it needs to be resolved because I'm not.
No. Ow! I hope that didn't mess up. The cat, tried to switch cameras with his feet. I don't know how he did that, but... Ow, he clawed me when I moved him. Look at that.
Yeah, I see.
Ow.
So we'll see. So that's my other baubles and bling.
I have a few things. I got 2 pairs of socks from my mom. I will tell you, these have been worn before.
I was going to say.
These are my mom's.
Make a comment on it, but...
And these have been felted, but I'll take what I can get. I don't
Free
complain.
socks.
Free sock. I love these.
These could have been, the ugliest of colors, and I still would have loved them. Because
those are new. So I got those. And then my mom made me a cowl.
It's pretty.
Out of Malabrigo sock yarn. I do like it. And this is good because one of the cowls she had made me last year died in the Great Moth War of 2014. So now I have a new one. It's very soft. And it's in one of my favorite, I think that's that angel one. What is it called?
You're asking the wrong
I
person.
know. I can't remember the name. It's Archangel.
Oh, okay.
Colorway. I think it's Archangel. I've knit something out of this before. I gave it away though, so I'm really excited. I got some back.
Okay.
Just tells you that what you put out into the world eventually comes back to you in a different form. So I also, first of all, I ordered this Vesper sock like 3 or 4 weeks ago. It was before Rhinebeck. It was before Rhinebeck. I ordered it Electric Revolution, and it is 100% superwash merino, and it is really electric rainbow with a stripe of gray. So it'll be like electric stripes with one gray stripe. I thought it was really striking when I saw it. So I ordered it, and apparently it came, and I photographed it, as one does. And then I put it in, I have a canvas basket that I keep on the stairs to my bedroom. And I put things in the basket. And I had put in, you can kind of smell the mothballs on it. I had put a bag that had mothballs in there, and this somehow went underneath the bag, and everything else was on top. So when I went to put away the stuff on top of the bag, I left the bag in there. I just grabbed this. Sometimes I take the whole basket up, but sometimes I just grab some of it as I'm going up. It's just to keep it from being on the stairs. And I guess this fell underneath the bag, so I couldn't see it, and I put away my other sock yarn. And so fast forward, last week I was telling Sheila, I never got my Vesper sock. So I emailed Vesper Yarn saying, or Knitterly Things, saying, hey, I never got my sock yarn. And then I was going on to I think it was my Flickr account to check what I needed to photograph from Rhinebeck, and I saw a photograph of the sock yarn that I had taken. So I wrote back really quickly, never mind, I found it. I guess I bought too much yarn. I have no memory of receiving it or taking the picture, but
that's
here it
scary.
is. Yeah, that right there is a sign of a problem. So here it is in all its glory. And then I fell down on a fiber nymph. Well, you know, my obsession with self-striping yarn started with Fiber Nymph's Soft Kitty that I had on the bedazzled base. Well, I saw that she had a colorway called Lucky Cat. And for those of you who aren't familiar with a Lucky Cat, it's like a little, sometimes it looks like this, and sometimes it even has like a mechanism where the hand goes like this. It's a fat
Chinese.
It's for luck, and they'll be by the cash register in a Chinese restaurant.
If the hand keeps moving, it means you're in luck.
Yeah, they usually have a hand, but sometimes you see them, they're just little statues, and they're made out of ceramic. Sometimes they're made out of plastic. I've seen
stitch markers
clocks out of it. I
on.
think I did give you Lucky Cats. It's just a sign of like good fortune. It's a symbol for good luck. So when I saw that they had that, I'm like, oh, I need that. So I bought it, and it is white with black, yellow, green, and red, which are the colors. The cat is white, and then it has the little accent color on it. And this is on her 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon bounce base.
It's my favorite base of hers.
I got this. I ordered it. I got it so fast.
It almost reminds me of
that blanket, that Hudson Bay blanket.
Hudson Bay
blanket.
colors, yeah.
I just really, the colors really appealed to me, and I like that a lot of it's white, so it's like, I don't know, I just really liked it. I thought it would be really pretty. So now I have to knit my Mint Rain. I have that cashmere twisted fiber arts that I bought. And these two.
Better get knitting, girl.
Well, I probably will, but I got to finish these first. I figure my obligation knitting has to come first. So that's all I have for Baubles and Fun.
Gossip and innuendo? No. Crushes and heartbreaks?
Yes.
Okay. Trying to think. I have no clue. I think I found a new thing for my husband.
What?
So... I went to do laundry. I ended up working Saturday just for 3 hours, all overtime. Sweet. Sorry. Christmas is coming. I got to get extra money. So I work Saturday and I come home and I try and do some laundry, or I don't think I did some until Sunday, or I don't remember. But my husband, I found out, only did one load of laundry last week. I'm like, really? Just one load? Well, it was raining. We have a septic, so we didn't want to tax the septic. I'm like, but the whole idea of a new washing machine is that it doesn't use as much water.
Yeah.
So it's not going to tax the septic. Anyways, I ended up doing a load of wash. I told my son that his jeans were in the dryer so that he could wear them on Monday.
Yeah.
I wake up on Monday, they're all folded.
Wow.
So I'm like, I'm going to try this again. Monday night, I threw in another load of wash. I said to Cam, just so you know, there's some clothes in the dryer. Wake up Tuesday, folded. I'm like, score. I didn't do it yesterday because I was too tired. Maybe tonight I'll do it again.
I kind of like that.
He's like, I don't like the washer. It washes too much clothes at once. I'm like, what? Because you got to fold them now? So I'm liking my washer. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else.
Did you just wake your grandmother up?
No.
Okay.
I'm listening to the book.
Sorry.
I think that's about it. Work's going good. I'm tired.
Well, let's see. I'm trying to think. Crushes and heartbreaks. Well, I guess my crush would be that I finally heard back from my son's neurologist.
Oh, really?
Yes, and it turns out the reason I didn't hear back from them is because I blocked the way that their number comes up as a part of my ongoing battle with the scam callers. So
I'm sorry, that's funny.
Well, the thought had crossed. So when I didn't know for sure that that's what happened. But what I did was when I talked, I had left a message before and a phone number. This time I actually spoke to a person and I told them, I don't know how your number comes up, but if it doesn't come up as a full 7 or 10-digit number, my phone will block it now. I've had to block private callers because the scam people have started calling me as a private caller. And so I also blocked any numbers that are not a full 7-digit, at least a 7-digit number. Sometimes you'll get a call from like 3-21. Well, their number comes up as something like 527-05. So that's why it got blocked. So I had said to her, I don't know how it comes up, and she said, well, do you have a backup number? And I said, yes. I gave her my cell phone number. I don't give that out to many people, so I don't get weird calls on that.
Right.
Sure enough, she called me back in appointment. She said, yeah, I couldn't get through to your main line. That's probably why we didn't get back to you. I was like, I am really sorry. I didn't realize that I didn't think back then.
Right.
But now I know I have to tell medical places, you need to call my cell phone.
Yeah.
So they actually fit me in to see a nurse practitioner tomorrow.
Oh, good.
And I got it up in Peabody, so I don't have to drive into Boston.
Peabody's nice.
Yeah. Boston Children's is wonderful, but a nightmare to get to.
You're speaking to the choir.
No, she knows exactly what I mean.
I avoid it at all possible
it's
costs.
It's horrible. And frankly, I don't really like going to the one in Waltham either because I always get caught in hellacious traffic.
Yeah,
you have to really have like a window of time when it's good to go to the one in Waltham.
Yeah, Lexington and Peabody are now my choice of.
I like Lexington and I like Peabody, and she gave me the option, and I was like, if you can get me in Peabody, that would be good. Because at that time of day, there won't be any traffic, but also if there were, it'll be all going towards me.
Yeah, it'll be the opposite direction.
It'll be the opposite direction. So yeah, they were able to get him in.
Oh, good.
And she told me they need a note for his 504 Rehab Act. The school is really unwilling to do anything more unless I get a note.
Good.
And the teacher's like, it's crazy because you can see that my son has a tic disorder. You can see it. It's not like this is some he has ADHD, where you would really need a medical diagnosis to confirm it. It's pretty obvious, but I think they need official paperwork. So I'm like, all right, I can do that. And I am handling that. So that is my crush that that finally got taken care of today. And I have a lot going on right now, but that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So,
Gossip and innuendo.
yeah. We have, can you pull it up? The Ayla Grace shawl. I know you weren't able to get, my internet is not working with Sheila's iPad right now. So Jennifer Lassonde, who you may also know as BostonJen of the Down Cellar Podcast, has come out with another design that's called the Ayla Grace shawl. And we're going to do a 2-week contest. Tell me what yarn you would knit it in. And we will draw the name in 2 weeks, and you'll win a free PDF of her pattern, and we're going to try to pull it up so you can
Trying to
see
find
it.
the best picture. Sorry, I'm having like sharp pain right here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not your fault.
It's got textured stitches. It's got yarn overs. I think it would look really good with either semi-solid or a worsted. Semi-solid or variegated. I don't know, it's not even close to the same.
Nope.
And I know she also
Top
did
down.
Top down. She did Tanbrook House shawl.
Yes.
And that looked really beautiful in a hand spun gradient. So that's something to consider. I think it would be really pretty with a hand spun. Here's some of the textured stitches. It's got a lot of interest. I don't think it would get boring. So,
Just reading the
I
instructions.
know, I'm just glancing at it. It looks like a lot of instructions.
Well, it's very detailed, but I don't think it is. I think once you get to it, it's going to be self-explanatory because it's just...
But she named it after her niece. Ayla Grace is her niece, I guess. So it was inspired by her, which is nice.
It states, let's see, the shawl was inspired by my niece Ayla, pronounced Ayla, a fiery redhead who packs a lot of personality into a very small package, while always letting her class and beauty shine through. The result is an easy top-down, elongated triangle shawl that will add a punch of personality into your wardrobe while still looking classic. It's really pretty.
Yep. So if you want a chance to win a copy of this, put something in the contest thread, and we will pick it 2 weeks from now, which would be episode 184. And I think that is a wrap.
You going to fiber?
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot. Thank you for reminding me. I am going to the New England Fiber Festival, or Fiber Festival of New England, at the Big E in West Springfield this weekend. It is on Saturday and Sunday, November 1st and November 2nd. I'm going with my mom and one of my mom's friends, who is also my friend. And we're going to probably be there between 9 and noon. We don't spend a lot of time at this. It's not a huge event, although it has been getting bigger every year. So what we tend to do is get there when it opens, go around and look, make one more round and do purchases of stuff that we need. I'm hoping to hang out with Amy from Spunky Eclectic and Jessalou from Stitch by Jessalou, because Jess, I didn't get a lot of time to hang out with her at Rhinebeck, which I was really sad about.
Sorry, Jess, that was my fault.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, things happen. I wasn't going to drive over there. I could have gone over there in the darkness alone in my car, but I really wasn't up for that, especially since in certain places there is no cell service. So I remember when we got lost that time. Yeah, I didn't want that to happen, and I was not comfortable going alone at night by myself, and I was tired too. Amy, Spunky Eclectic, had to take delivery on her sheep, so she was not at Rhinebeck this year, and I haven't seen her since New Hampshire Sheep and Wool. So I wanted to touch base with her, and I don't get to see her very often, and she's a nice lady, and she always has interesting stuff in her booth. Oh, and I need to buy a tension band from her for my wheel. Oh, I should really message her and let her know that in case she doesn't have any with her.
Yeah, you might want to.
Yeah, no, I'm totally going to. So, yeah, but that's what I'm doing, and that pretty much, after that is the gathering, which is being held in Maine this year, it's a spinning retreat, and
Oh.
they have like Abby Frankamon is teaching there. It's I am not going to that. I have a bunch of friends from my guild who are going to that. It's supposed to be wonderful. There are some really cool vendors there. I don't know if their marketplace is open, but there's a link on our show notes that gives you, you can go to the page that talks about it, and that'll give you the details. I don't plan on driving up to wherever it is. It's just not in the cards. But, and I think that's it until 2015 for the events that are
Around
local to
our
us
area,
that I know about. So, festival season's almost over.
Yeah. Festival season for me is just one festival, so.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I don't know. This year wasn't that bad. I mean, fall never is as like exhausting to me as spring. Spring wears me out, and I didn't even go to all the ones I usually go to this year.
I don't think I went to any this year because of.
No, we went to Connecticut.
No, we didn't. Connecticut, yes.
Yes, we
Mass,
did.
no.
I'm like, yeah, we did.
I'm getting confused. Mass, we didn't because you weren't available.
I was
to
at a
go,
wedding, so
and I probably had to work that day, anyways.
yeah. But no, this year I went to Connecticut, New Hampshire, Maryland sheep and wool. Seems like there was one more. Oh, Webb's tent sale. That's what I'm thinking of. And then this fall I went to Stitches, Rhinebeck, and I'll be going to New England Fiber Festival.
Yeah, they all tend to seem to hit up on my work weekends.
Yeah. It's fun. My mom comes into town. That's why she's here. She always comes around Halloween to see the kids, and we usually try to go together to the Fiber Festival. It's fun. I took her last year. She was here earlier, and I took her to Stitches because I think Stitches was after Rhinebeck last year.
It was. I want to say it was.
So, yeah. So she didn't get to do that with me this year, but it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So if you see me there, I'll try to remember to bring a few buttons. But Saturday I'm going. I'm not going on Sunday, but it is open on both days. And it's a good little festival. It's getting bigger every year. It's only been running for like 4 or 5 years. It's new.
It's fairly new, yeah.
It's fairly new. So I can imagine it's only going to get like more and more detailed or involved. They do have a lot of, if you want to buy a fleece, they have a lot of fleeces for sale there. So.
Do they?
It's pretty good. All right. Sorry. I'm tired. I have to get up early today. So,
I never have sympathy for you on that. I'm sorry.
But here's the thing. You don't have to have sympathy for me, but you have to understand that you're used to getting up at a certain time, and I'm used to getting up at a certain time. If you had to get up earlier than what you normally do, you would be tired too. I'm not, if I got up every day at the time that you did, it wouldn't bother me as much as the days when I have to wake up at the crack of dawn. Speaking of which, my son, I hear him yelling the other morning, Mom, from downstairs. It's pitch black. So it wakes me out of a dead sleep. So I'm like, what? He goes, what time is it? I said, it's 2 a.m. He goes, okay.
He doesn't have a clock in his room?
No, apparently he needs one. But he woke me out of a dead sleep. My husband slept right through it. And that was the one, when you see the red mark on that was that day. He woke me up at 2 a.m. I checked it afterwards to see. I think I got up and went to the bathroom since I was awake. But I'm like,
that's funny.
It's not good. I need to be, once I fall asleep, I have to sleep until I naturally wake up. If I have to get up earlier and I'm woken up by the alarm, I never feel like I got a good night's sleep.
See, I never feel like I get a good night's sleep. It's sad when you wake up and the first thing you think of is, I can't wait to come home to take a nap. It's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign. But you really should get that checked out.
I know, I have to.
And I really have to go get my heel checked out because I walked in a Fitbit challenge this weekend, which I'm really enjoying because it's been motivating me to walk every day. And my bursitis in my heel came back with a vengeance. And so I've been pushing myself to walk every day, but it's getting worse. Well, I'm icing it and doing everything, but I need to actually have a medical professional diagnose me and tell me what I should be doing.
That might help.
Yeah. So after I have an appointment next week at Mass General, after that, I'll try to schedule something with my doctor.
So
I can only do one thing at a time.
a little bit of a
A little,
pull.
I don't know.
Not sure what that is.
Well,
Wouldn't call it a slub.
no, it's not a slub. It's not a tumor.
All right. Little side note. We were watching something and it mentioned John Wayne, or I mentioned John Wayne, and Max is like, "Who's John Wayne?" And my husband had to agree. He goes, "He wouldn't know who John Wayne is." I'm like, "I know, but still." It's like, John Wayne wasn't, I mean, he was old when I was young, but still, I knew who he is, and I've seen some of his stuff. And I mentioned it to my brother, and my brother's like, "What movies have you seen of his?" I'm like, "I've watched some older movies of his. Not a lot, but I knew of John Wayne because my grandfather loved John Wayne. I remember when video cassettes were big, we gave him a set of them. But then we were watching the Replacements? No. That movie that came out with all the old action characters, Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis. I'm forgetting all of them, but they did Schwarzenegger. It's like 5 or 6 older action star movie people came out, and I said to my husband, I'm like, I bet you Max doesn't even know who these people are.
Oh, probably not.
So
I did something very wrong.
I see that. But on that note, I suppose we should go.
Yeah, because I just have to rip out like 3 rows of this. Apparently while I was talking and knitting, I skipped a row. So you can see these. That's a little flatter than the other diamonds. Like, I needed to knit another row.
Oh, okay.
I'll just rip it out. Actually, I won't even rip it out. I'll just go down.
Take it back.
Yeah, it'll be fine. All right, so next week, review of Head for Trouble. And we'll draw the monthly Stash Down prize, and we'll be drawing the prize for the Twisted Fiber Studio fun Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm. We got a lot happening next week.
A lot going on, so stay tuned. Don't miss it.
Have a good week.
No heart. Bye.